Welcome to the Too Much to Say podcast, where we have too much to say. Episode 11, the coolest shit happening right now. We're going to be breaking everything down from SpaceX to board games to theater to E3, all the video games that came out this past weekend. And if you're joining us on Twitch, we are live at 8:30 on Tuesday. If you're joining us on a podcast, welcome. It's just going to be me today. Ross is out attending a graduation. But let's go ahead and hop into the weekly random. This week, Trump, I feel like I say that every single week, but Trump always manages to outdo himself somehow. This past week was the G7 summit, previously the G8 summit, before we were basically kicked Russia out of that summit, the Group 7. But basically, as soon as it started, our boy Trump started calling for Russia to be able to join the G7 once more. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's with everything that swirls around Trump and Russia and this investigation. I guess there's kind of two major storylines coming out of the G7. One, at least for me, one coming out is him wanting Russia to get back in. The other is that he basically alienated all of our allies. He threatened to end trade with France, Great Britain, the European Union, Canada, Mexico, basically everybody. I don't think Mexico is part of the G7. Basically every member of the G7. While at the same time he's trying to become buddy with Russia. And you would think that someone who claims that they are innocent, that they had no collusion with Russia, that Russia didn't help them in any way join, become president, would want to seem a little more innocent. I mean, it's just so blatant that it's hard for me to understand. I mean, this is the same. The three weekly randoms. I mean, like we said in the past, aren't so random, but they all related to Trump and Russia. The third one was that Mueller has Robert Mueller with the Mueller investigation has filed new charges against Paul Manafort and a Russian associate, Konstantin Kilmanik. Like the exact same week that Mueller continues to put pressure on Trump for Russia. I mean, at this point, doesn't he have to have the piss tapes? It doesn't have to be something, or just like maybe just tapes of him agreeing to working with Russia. Some sort of leverage over Trump that Trump would be willing to throw away everything. I mean, to throw away all of our alliances, throw away everything, and try to get Trump back in, or get Russia back in. I mean, to be quite honest, in some ways it leaves me speechless. I do not understand the logic coming out of the White House. Are you just so guilty that you just say fuck it? You don't want to stop? Like you're not. I mean, is that what's happening here, or is it that you are too stupid? Or is there nothing going? I mean, at this point, I can't imagine there's nothing going on. I just can't. Well, this episode is not going to be about Trump. This episode is we're going positive this episode. We're going to, like I said, this episode is supposed to be about the coolest shit happening right now. What's happening with Trump in the White House is definitely not the coolest shit happening right now. It's quite honestly the opposite. It is probably the worst thing on a whole that's happening, just as an effect on this world, an effect on the United States. I mean, what he's bringing to the table is objectively bad. and the fact that people still support him, and look at the I guess last just what happened yesterday where Trump met with Kim Jong Un. I guess I should bring that up just to be a little. It wasn't going to be one of the ones I mentioned because we want to keep this shorter, but he met with Kim Jong Un yesterday for the first time an American president has, and I mean the Republicans and Trump supporters are hailing this as you know one of the greatest successes. And while I'll agree that it is a success, it kind of irks me because they were trashing Obama when Obama was trying to do this exact same thing. And I also would like to point out, not to just throw water on this, but I'm not. I don't know how excited to actually be because how much can you actually trust Kim Jong Un? What did Trump actually say to Kim Jong Un? I don't trust him in this arena, and especially since he didn't even keep notes on any of it, which is just, I mean, his response was he has one of the best memories in the world. I just, it's hard for me to want to be excited. I mean, apparently they've agreed to the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, meaning both South Korea and North Korea. I really want to just hold off and see where this is going before I get too excited, before I laud Trump. Also, everything the man touches turns to shit, other than him being able to magically become president. So, I mean, every decision he's made since then, and the fact that he's basically taking credit for the economy of Obama. I mean, seemingly, I mean, the economy was improving all the way up to Obama, all the way through from it was bad when he started office, and it improved all the way until he ended office, and then it lingered into Trump, into 1 year of Trump. Um, I just think that just hold off. We'll see. I mean, time will tell. I mean, what North Korea says and what North Korea does is not always the same thing. So let's hold off the parades. But let's go ahead and jump into the Reddit shower thought of the week. Hold on. Man, this thing blocking me. There we go. This week's Reddit shower thought of the week in the theme of being happy. Because there's this stuff with Trump is just bringing us down. It's one of those things that we cannot let become normal, which is one of the biggest dangers. It's so easy to get fatigued with Trump. So easy to get fatigued with this administration. All the bullshit they pull. But the moment we allow it, the moment we ignore it, the moment we allow it to be normal, is the moment we're actually in trouble. Because we have to, I mean, quite honestly, we have to fight back. In the fall, we have to vote Republicans out of office. Now, see, I'm for balance. Now, we need Democrats to take over the House and Senate, so that I mean, quite honestly, Trump should at least, yeah, he should be impeached by now. There should be an impeachment hearing and all that, and yet none of that's happening. We need this fall for everyone who's listening, if your parents, whoever, to go out and vote and to actually try to do something about this, because voting is the only way any of this is going to happen. And with the gerrymandering and all that's set up against us, I mean, please vote. Have your parents vote. Do something. All right, that's all. That's all. No more Trump. So, like I said, Reddit shower thought of the week. This is one of the best ones. This comes from user PM Me Gibsons. I like to think that's guitars, but he says, your dog thinks Fetch is a game that the two of you made up, and he loves you for that. And that's, like I said, there are good things in life. Dogs and the unfettered loyalty of dogs is just awesome. So let's transition. Let's get Trump out of our minds. Let's just get over to a positive state. There's too much good stuff happening for that to be our only focus, and that's where we are today. Because number one one of the coolest things that's happening right now is the SpaceX versus Boeing space race. I mean, I guess if you follow Too Much to Say podcast, big fans of Tesla, big fans of Elon Musk. SpaceX is right up there with Tesla, and the electric car revolution that's coming. But what's really cool is that Elon Musk and SpaceX have managed to drag other people in to this revolution of technology and wanting to, go to Mars. I mean, Elon Musk sent his car out into space, sent it to Mars, and now Boeing's getting on Twitter and in statements and basically saying they're going to be the first ones to Mars. And Elon Musk's response, now this is classic Elon. This is just, I mean, it's about as epic as it. In my opinion, I mean, you got swagger when your response to a major corporation saying we're gonna beat you at something. His response is do it. Here, hold on. Let's pull that up. Boom. Elon Musk on May 31st. Do it. See, that's epic, man. That's where it's at. So we are. I mean, I think one of the really cool things that happened in the past was us visiting the moon and all the technology that came out of that. I am excited to see where we're going. If you follow anything to do with the space race and with kind of all that technology, but also just that movement, is that we kind of recognize that if humans are going to basically survive beyond probably the next 10,000 to 20,000 years, we're going to have to change planets, or at least expand to another planet. I mean, at our rate of growth, something's going to have to give. The Earth only has so many resources, and Elon Musk is actually acting on it and getting Boeing to get on that as well. So that is, like I said, that's super exciting. Now to kind of change gears, and this one's exciting. Period. To me, I've been a huge proponent of this for a while, and it's not. The movement's been happening, but it's only growing and getting better, I guess. And that is the movement of modern board games. Now, when you think of board games, you think of Monopoly. You think of boring, just awful hours of people just rolling dice and moving and buying stuff or landing on someone else's stuff. I mean, it's a fair enough that it is a pretty good representation of of life and how shit just happens to you and the rich get richer. But man, that makes for a shitty damn board game. So does Risk. Get his math. I remember playing Risk. I played Risk my whole life, and because it was all I knew. But there are just awesome war games like Risk out there that are just a million times better. You can see some actually behind me. That one right above my hand is Kemet or Kemet or whatever. It's an Egyptian board game with like these like tiles that you have to buy with, and you get all this like raw power, and it's amazing. But board games have moved from decisions being made for you to you making decisions. So no more Monopoly, no more Risk, no more Sorry, no more Candyland. Don't play those. I I have 2 young kids. I don't even play those with my young kids. I got too many cool things happening. Um, there's Euro games. There's drafting. There's co-op games. I mean, you don't even have to play against each other anymore. In fact, me and my daughter, we just created a co-op game 2 days ago. We just sat down. It's a lifeguard game, and you go out and you save swimmers, and or those swimmers. My daughter's 6 now, or those swimmers get lost at sea, and she's like, "Well, can we? Maybe we should put some sharks out in that ocean." Some freaking some morbid stuff happening there, but no, there are exciting games. If you're listening to this, look up Galaxy Trucker from Vlada Chvátil. Look up Terra Mystica. It's a French board game, one of the best Euro games out there. Gloomhaven. It's an RPG. It's extraordinary. That one's an expensive one, but it's the #1 rated board game on BoardGameGeek.com, which is the #1 website for modern board games. BoardGameGeek.com. Or if you want some lighter stuff, man, there are party games now. Stuff like Codenames, again from Vlada, but it's just such simple mechanics. Anybody who's new, people who don't even like games like Codenames. They like Dixit. They like, there's so many games out there that are so much better than anything that you grew up with. That, I mean, heck, one of the first ones was Settlers of Catan. That was the first, beginning of this. It was one of the first Euro games, and it was the beginning of this movement. But that game sucks. We're so much further beyond that. I mean, yeah, Settlers of Catan gets better if you add some of the expansions, but Settlers is like an awful version of Terra Mystica. It's an awful version of these games. And that's one of the first more modern board games. If you can't tell, I love them. And if you want to check out some of these, you want to see, there are tons of YouTube videos. Tabletop with Will Wheaton, our man coming out of Star Trek. He made a whole freaking YouTube series. I think we're up to season 4 or 5 on it. But they get together, they explain, they have some great graphics, they break everything down. Modern board games are fucking awesome. Check them out. BoardGameGeek.com. I mean, if you don't like games, then I guess not. But I think there's a game out there for everybody. And check out Tabletop Will Wheaton. They'll give you even better introduction than I can, because you'll get to see these games. They get some celebrities together and just have a good time playing them. And it's super well edited. So that's #2 was modern board games. Now these aren't in an order of coolest things, but just so we can keep track how far we're getting here. Cryptocurrency is my #3. I know you've heard all about it. I know, there's all these things. This past Sunday, even cryptocurrency took a big hit because one of the exchanges got hacked. Now, cryptocurrency, despite actually finally hitting the mainstream, it's been around been actually tradable for exchangeable for about 12 years now. And it actually hit mainstream this past fall in October. And I know everyone, there's so much about it. People get all these get rich quick schemes and all this stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. You can make some money off of it, absolutely, with mining. I have multiple miners, actually. But regardless of if you do that, Bitcoin and blockchain technology is here to stay. It is going to be one of the defining characteristics of the internet in the near future, for verification, for sales. I mean, it is the future. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy all these graphics cards and mine and you're going to get rich quick. I'm not saying that. But it is the future. It is one of the coolest things that's happening right now. So I definitely recommend just educating yourself on it. Go figure out what Ethereum is. Go figure out what Litecoin is. If you want to get crazy, go figure out what Dogecoin is and Garlic Coin and Digibyte, and there's so many. Um, and Bitcoin right now, it is the premier coin, but maybe, I mean, the technology is only beginning. We're only 12 years in. In 10 years, well, who knows what the main coin is? I mean, who knows the main, what breakthroughs in technology are we going to be? I mean, quantum computing is only beginning as well. It didn't even make my list, but quantum computing, super freaking cool. Sort of scary from a security standpoint, but super cool. Um, so that's number 3, cryptocurrency. Number 4, artificial intelligence. Now this one, we've heard about it forever. It's been in sci-fi. Um, it's been in sci-fi as long as sci-fi has existed. The idea of these artificial intelligence, the first thing you think of is the idea of like robots, iRobot with Will Smith. These robots that are able to just think for themselves. These androids, but maybe we get there one day. We're not there now by any means, but there is still so many things that AI is doing for us right now, and it's only going to grow. I mean, AI is one of the coolest things happening, but in so many ways, some of the scariest stuff too. The more AI becomes developed, the more jobs are going to disappear because computers can do them better. But the more AI happens, the higher, if we go about this the right way, the higher we can elevate the human race, the more, our quality of life can increase if we go about it the right way. If Congress, if, you know, the Senate, in the United States anyway, and then if you're coming at this from another country, if your government actually regulates it correctly. We actually, there are some laws about like how AI needs to act once we actually get to the point of sentience and building in these. What are the laws? Hold on. AI laws. The 3 laws of robotics. These are Asimov's laws. That's right. The 3 laws: a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow human to come to harm. This comes from iRobot. A robot must obey the orders given it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Now, I'm not saying these are the perfect laws, but the point is, we do need to. There are Google and all sorts of all these Microsoft, like basically all the great technology thinkers of our day are all clamoring for us to put some laws in place to curb potential abuse by AI. Because as science fiction as it sounds, if we make artificial intelligence that's more intelligent than us, we're going to potentially be in a lot of trouble. It's going to be super cool if we can harness it, if we can box it in and turn it into a tool. But if we can't, I mean, this is not a tinfoil hat. This is a Braves hat I have on. That's why it's tinfoil. This is legit. Because the moment they become more intelligent, the moment AI is more intelligent than us, we won't be able to stop it. It will only get more intelligent. The moment it's able to learn and grow on its own and become more intelligent than we are, I mean, you think, oh, well, I can just switch off the TV or switch off the computer. The cloud is a thing. The cloud's been around, and I mean, it'll be on the cloud instantly. And then what are we going to do? Just turn off all of our computers and go back to the dark age? It's just something to be cognizant of. It is super cool. It's already out there. It's in your email doing spam filters. Your teachers are using it for plagiarism checkers. It's all over the mobile check deposits, which is super cool, where you can just basically take a picture of a check and it goes into your bank account. Social networking, every single one uses it. Picture recognition, all that kind of stuff. I think Amazon's a huge one. Search recommendations are just, I mean, it's algorithms. Is that really all AI is? It's just like elevated algorithms. Um, and then also, I mean, Google has just recently, like everything to do with voice to text. So if you, which is one of my favorite inventions that we have, that I can, if I'm don't feel like typing, I got a lot to say to somebody, I can just basically just talk into my phone. It writes the text for me. But to take that to a step further, Google now has some like experimental headphones that can translate languages on the fly. Dude, that is some like sci-fi stuff brought to life right now. You can basically just put this headphone in your ear, go to France or the Czech Republic or China or Japan. I mean, I don't know what all languages they have, but you can just listen. That will just listen to what they're saying and translate it into your native tongue. Man, once that shit's out there, I'm hyped. That means that Too Much to Say podcast can go worldwide. But no, but still, that's just amazing. I mean, if we can somehow spread that technology, it would just and bring it to these poorer countries. I mean, we can just elevate them so much higher. They can be exposed to so much more knowledge, but also America can too. I saw some stuff from like Norway where they were spreading where you could get free classes on artificial intelligence and that sort of thing. And but it was a Norwegian, so there's no way I could listen to it. Now I can listen to it in English, and that'd just be awesome. So artificial intelligence, it's not science fiction. It's coming. I mean the legit idea of androids. We're not there yet, but we are kind of getting there from both sides. The making upright walking robots. You got Boston Dynamics coming at you with these just crazy designs for robots. Now, if you somehow put together their robots with this artificial intelligence, I mean, it's gonna be fucking Terminator Terminator 2 with the that create the liquid metal guy chasing after people. I mean, it's I mean, scary, but like definitely one of the coolest things happening right now. Um, Another one that just came out that again, this stuff's coming out of science fiction. Um, we're just we're growing technology is full on nonstop right now, and it's so exciting. Like the next one is nanobots, something we've been talking about forever. Microscopic robots sounds impossible, but this week there came out with this technology to basically to make nanobots that can attack cancerous tumors. Yeah, let me bring up. Oh, here I am skipping. I had all these. Dang, that's what a pity. And I'm still in the Reddit shower thought of the week. I get so excited. I just get going and forget about all my stuff. All right, hold on. Boom. Main event. It's a good thing I didn't. If you listen to last, I haven't gotten the music together. I'd be really pissed right now. Um, let's get that. Here we are. All right, nanobots. Let me put it off this side. But this is like an illustration showing how nanobots are going to be able to attack cancer. Basically, people create these rectangular sheets of DNA, and then they make thrombin bind to that DNA, and then that thrombin basically attaches itself. Yeah, the nanobot includes a special molecule, a DNA. Hold on, make it bigger so I can read it. A DNA aptamer that targets a protein found in high amounts only on the surface of tumor cells. This directs the nanobot to the tumor cells where the blood clotting enzyme is released, stopping the blood flow to the tumor and killing the tumor. This is microscopic. This shit's gonna go in your blood, my blood. If I, like, it's so cool. Like this, nanobots are one of the most. I mean, you think of nanobots. If you get into science fiction at all, you have like. I mean, heck, if you watched Avengers: Infinity War, um, Iron Man's suit is made of nanobots. Now these are nanobots were probably about the size of a quarter, maybe smaller, but they like joined together to like reform his suit, and they could like move pieces around, overpower them. We're not there yet, but we're able to make tiny little robots that can go inside your blood and kill cancer. It's in my opinion cooler than anything to do with Iron Man, but um, I'll take Iron Man too. I'm just throwing that out there. But nanobots fighting cancer, that's just awesome. Um, so it was at one. We were at number one, SpaceX versus Boeing Space Race. Number two, modern board games. Number three, cryptocurrency. Number four, AI. Number five, nanobots. And to switch gears from technology, we'll go back here in a second. But I wanted to touch on theater. Last week, or I covered on Hamilton. But another play, if you've listened to Hamilton and if you've listened to theater, you might have already heard this one. It's been out for about a year now. But Dear Evan Hansen, it's kind of a. I bring it up here not only because it's just an awesome musical, but also because it represents kind of a cultural revolution. Um, this idea, at least in America, that our mental health is important. So often we have viewed mental health as kind of abstract. It's weakness. If you get depression, that's just because you can't be happy, and that's your fault. And that's the most asinine idea I've ever heard in my life. But stuff like Dear Evan Hansen educates people, shows people. I mean, it addresses suicide in particular, in a really creative, awesome way. It's just really the music's fantastic. It was the same people who did Greatest Showman, did La La Land, and to be honest, it's better than both of those. Greatest Showman's okay. It's kind of I mean, it's got some good, the pop chords and all that stuff are good, but the lyrics are kind of lame. But the lyrics in this are just succinct and to the point and heart. They tug at your heartstrings and talk about real things instead of just starting a circus. Not to bring away from Greatest Showman, just listen to Dear Evan Hansen. I think empathy is going to be that's the cultural revolution here. It's trying to understand other people. Now I don't know what it's like to be depressed. I mean, have I felt things similar? Probably. I felt, sadness, but beyond sadness, obviously. The kind of the inability to be happy. Now, I don't know anything about it compared to people who are actually, clinically depressed. But I do feel for them. I wish them happiness. I wish them, the ability to get over this. And this kind of goes after that. I think empathy is something else people view kind of as weakness, but it's a natural human emotion. Seeing someone else in pain and thinking, "Oh, I wish they weren't feeling that," it doesn't make you weak, doesn't make you a pussy, doesn't make you like it's not a negative thing. That's good. Being a jerk, bullying people, that's bullshit. Like I don't know. Dear Evan Hansen, it's a fantastic musical. 5 out of 5. 10, 5 stars, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 7. Just go out and listen to it, um, and tell me what you think. Tell me what are we? I should count these and then I can just keep up. 5, 6. So that was 6. We only got 2 more to go. So if I'm gonna miss some stuff. If there's other, this is coolest shit happening now, right now. episode 1. Not that we're doing it again next week. We're probably going to be doing the Oscars. We're doing a ranking of the last 10 Oscars, the winners. But in 6 months, maybe in a year, we'll do another one of another cooler shit. So if you have other stuff, man, hit us up, let us know, and we'll do a little research into it and try to bring some good stuff to us. But the next one, going back to technology, is Be My Eyes. This one I just learned about, but it is super cool. It kind of on the same wavelength of Dear Evan Hansen. Is that it's empathy. It is people. It's an app on their phone for people who are either blind or low vision, and they can it takes a video of what they're seeing, what they're doing, and it basically streams that to another person who's able to walk them through that task and help them out. And these are volunteers. It's BeMyEyes.com. It's an app on your phone, but these volunteers are vetted. So basically, if you don't pull any bullshit with them, you kicked off the app immediately. But I mean, it's just about helping people. It's it's nonprofit, unpaid volunteers. But I love seeing technology just be stretched and used in a way to help other people. I mean, so much of it is self-gratifying. The next thing we're going to talk about here is that so much of it is used just to make money. But this is something that's just straight up positive. We're able to make somebody's life a little bit easier. We're able to, also do, it doesn't hurt to help other people either. So it's super cool. I recommend, if you have great vision, get on, and you want to help other people out, go get registered, get vetted, get screened, and go help some other people. But if you have, if you're listening to me because you can't see me, then, this is a great way for you to get some help. I'll probably I just learned about it actually today, but, I need to get screened, go out and help some other people. It makes it so I don't have to leave the house to help people, so that makes me happy. But the last section of this, last but not least in any means, is going to be E3, which is happening right now. Before this stream, I was watching some Fortnite. But E3, which we all know is it's basically the biggest thing in video games and gaming, period. And every single company that's going to bring new video games out, they are going to debut a trailer of gameplay or graphic, just like a movie trailer for it. And I just want to touch on a couple because they just what's kind of stood out to me, kind of following all that stuff coming up. So the first one I want to cover was Cyberpunk 2077. Now this is not coming out yet. This isn't going to be a gameplay trailer, but it is going to be really cool. So give me 1 second on me. All right, here we go. Oh.
In 2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues, sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else. Can't deny it, it's all true. But everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion, but it's there, just around the corner, and it keeps you going. It's a city of dreams, and I'm a big dreamer.
All right, so that is Cyberpunk 2077. If you're on the, oh, if you are on the Twitch stream, we just played that, and if you're on the podcast, um, I'm probably gonna just cut that all out. But it is basically just to give it a brief description. Obviously, cyberpunk in the future, um, and I mean what I think is the coolest takeaway from watching any E3 is just how far graphics are going. I mean, this is just phenomenal. I mean, yeah, obviously you can tell that it's not really um, they're not really human, but it's not too far away. I'm gonna get smaller for this one. The next one's gonna be The Last of Us Part Two. Now this one's a bit brutal. This is like the ultra violence, um, but it is super cool. Let me bring myself up. There we go. All right, let's go to display capture again. Here we go. This is The Last of Us 2. This is a gameplay trailer. So I believe this is coming out next. I believe it's next year. And this is just awesome. Only on PlayStation though, which is completely unfortunate.
To make a little round, I met little Sadie and I shot her down. Went back home, jumped into bed, 44 pistol under my head. I woke up in the morning about 9:30. The hacks and the buggy standing in line. Gents and gamblers standing around, taking little Sadie to bed. I began to think what I'd do that time. I grabbed my hand and I knew I'd run. Made up a plan just a little too slow. They overtook me in Jericho.
I hate these things.
Tell me about it.
Your old man really laid into me today.
What happened?
Another big lecture about my patrols. Don't go here, don't go there. It's funny how involved he gets whenever you're scheduled to go out.
Yeah.
She's putting on quite the show.
I give you guys 2 weeks until you're back together.
Not gonna happen. She say something to you?
Make it 1 week.
Ellie! Hey! What took you so long?
Well, I'm here, aren't I?
Dina?
Jesse.
Come on.
Hey, don't forget we leave at first light, so get some rest.
Yes, sir. You're such a dick. Come on. Why don't you start with me? Okay, I have a very serious question for you. How bad do I smell?
Like a hot pile of garbage?
Oh, okay. Oh, how about that?
Gross. You love it. Every guy in this room is staring at you right now. Maybe they're staring at you. Or not. Maybe they're jealous of you. I'm just a girl, not a threat.
Oh, Ellie. I think they should be terrified of you.
All right. So that's the opening. Basically, what happens is you get a kind of a flashback to a main character, Ellie, who was, you know, she's at a dance party. She meets some of her friends, and there's a kind of the ex. She meets this girl's ex boyfriend, and then the girl comes up and asks her to dance, and they start kissing. And she says, I'm not a threat, and well, I think they should be terrified of you. But right after she says that, we flash forward to Ellie basically stabbing a dude in the throat while holding her hand over his mouth, and basically and just killing him. His blood spurts out of it, spurts out the his artery out of his neck, and that's just like I mean, the gameplay just looks awesome. Going on from there, we watch her ability to sneak and kind of go into the brush out of the ferns, and every time she's in the brush or the grass or underneath the car, people are unable to see her. She can actually like sneak away from that sort of thing. And there's the violence. I mean, here this podcast is all about uplifting and doing good things and that sort of thing. But just from a video game standpoint, this just looks fucking awesome. The graphics are amazing. Um, like I said, where we're going with graphics. I mean, the eyes are a little bit off in this one, but I mean that's only in these cut scenes where you're zoomed in on somebody's face. I mean, a little bit coming a little bit from a little bit away. I mean, this could be a movie almost. I mean, I've seen green screens less convincing than most of the graphics in this, so it's just exciting. I mean, she goes on. I mean, she can pick up. Let's just all right. Let's keep going though.
They are nested with sin. What is free? Holy shit! No! 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 Spread out.
Yes, he did just disembowel that guy, pulling his intestines out. It's a hard shot, I guess.
through here. Damn it. Double back. Go.
I have eyes!
This is a sacrifice lamb.
See, I told you. He should be terrified.
That's just awesome. That ending is just awesome. Got the we start off with a kissing at a ball at a dance, and we end with a decapitation, a bloody, brutal decapitation into fading into that kissing again, and why someone should be terrified. From the sneaking, if you didn't, for all the podcast listeners, this game, if you like sneaking, you like violence, you like plot, I definitely recommend it. The graphics look phenomenal, and just everything to do with that trailer is just fantastic. Go check it out online when we get in front of a computer. If you're listening to this while you're driving, wait. No, don't watch videos while you're driving. It's a bad idea. All right, we got one more. This one's called Dying Light 2. It's another gameplay. This one's a lot shorter, but it's phenomenal. Let's get this one started.
Dying Light 2 features a functioning ecosystem that reacts on multiple levels to the things you do and the choices you make. In the example we're about to show you, our protagonist undertakes a mission for the Peacekeepers, one of the many factions active in the city. They want you to negotiate with two survivors who are controlling and hoarding a water supply.
Are you going to insult us with another final offer?
Let's say you choose to carry out the Peacekeepers' orders, one way or another. After this, you'll start seeing a significant change in the city, as access to the water supply has allowed the Peacekeepers to bring stability and develop the area. There's even running water for the people at street level. And that raises their morale and allows you to replenish your energy on the go. But there's a cost to this. The PKs have a rigid approach to law and order. So while the streets may be safer, it's only safe for those who side with them. So if you get on their bad side. Now let's return to that moment of choice. And instead of killing them, you choose to team up with this group to supply water in the black market. As you will see, this creates a very different set of consequences for the city. With water being a precious currency, it brings you access to new resources and trade. But this in turn attracts the worst type of people to the area. And this is just a single decision, one out of hundreds you'll have to make. But it allows you to carve out your own world, your own city from the apocalypse. Each player's game experience will be unique. And by the way, this is just what happens in the day. At night, well, things tend to get a lot darker.
Oh yeah. So what I love about this, so the gameplay looks cool, but just that the moral ambiguity and the zombies is whatever for me. But both of these games kind of riding the coattails of the past zombie wave. But I mean, more power to it. If it's gonna bring this type of stuff, if that's what's coming from the zombie genre nowadays, be honest, I'm fucking all aboard, baby. I mean, it's just awesome, some of the stuff that's happening. Put my video in, bring me back down. But yeah, I mean, it's freaking awesome. So I mean, between the ability to just make all these different decisions that's going to be able to change the game in such significant and meaningful ways, that's really cool. I'm excited. Graphics look great as usual, but between Dying Light 2 and Last of Us Part 2, we got a couple sequels, and then Cyberpunk 2077. E3 just has some great stuff coming. I didn't even cover Fallout 76 or I guess I could have covered the Elder Scrolls meme coming from Bethesda about the Alexa. Elder Scrolls Alexa. I definitely recommend checking that out. But I mean, in the theme of E3, there's just so much cool shit happening right now. And man, it's a great time to be alive. And we need to remember that. I mean, when things get tough, when our beloved president, has another banner week, which he seems to have every single week, we just, this is the best time to be alive in the world. And we need to, enjoy it and help make it better. America, the irony of Make America Great Again. The truth is, it's great, but it can be better. The world can be better. We can work together. And, I mean, yeah, that's basically, that's all we have to say today. But thanks for listening. Remember, you can catch us on twitch.tv/HectorMeow every Tuesday at 8:30. We are on all podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes. And if we're not on one and you want us to be on one, just let us know. I'll do my best to get us there. But hit us up with a follow, like, subscribe, a 5-star rating wherever you show us some love. Bring some more people into the Too Much to Say family, because I mean that's the goal here, just to create a big community of like-minded people. If you have any questions, hit us up on Gmail, down at the links down at the bottom of the Twitch stream. And yeah, thanks for listening. And we'll see you next week with episode 12. We'll be talking about the Oscars. That's like 90%. I gotta watch like 4 movies, and we'll kind of break those down and talk about, give our personal top 10s of the last 10 Oscar winners. And you guys have a great week.